Hello!
Hello!
I'm Tricia.
I'm Danielle.
And this is our April TBR.
What we are planning to read in April.
So this video, you'll see what I want to read by myself, what Danielle wants to read by herself, and if we just so happen to have any books that we plan on reading together.
We might have a couple.
So stick around, see what books we plan on reading.
Alright, so getting into our first book of our TBR, and it is one that we are planning on reading together. It is the Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore, the fourth book in the Dream Harbor series.
So this is our book club book of the month, so we're actually also reading it with our bestie Ashley. We've read all of them as the book club, so I personally am looking forward to getting to see the next book, the next couple in this world, in this small town.
Yes, I'm excited to see what we all think of it, because the last books we've read, the rest of this series, we've all had very different opinions. So there have been things we've all enjoyed, there have been things that some of us have enjoyed, so I'm really interested. I'm also really excited because this book features two main characters. The character of Iris, which is a returning character. She wasn't a main character, but in the previous book, we got to see a little bit about her. And then a new character named Archer, who is a single dad and chef that comes to this town. So I'm really excited to see what their storyline is actually going to be. All right, so my first book on my TBR is a book that I'm currently reading. Now, we are filming this a couple of days before the end of March. I do hope to get this done by the end of March, but it also might be into the first couple days of April, so we will see. So it is Can't Spell Treason Without T. The main characters, Raina and Keonth, have left their old lives behind to start a new life and bookshop/tea shop in a new town. I am quite a ways through it already. Almost halfway, I believe, and I'm really, really liking it, really looking forward to it. It is by Rebecca Thorne, and I'm really excited to finish it, to be able to talk to Tricia about it, because she has already read this book. So I'm super excited.
Also, look at these edges. Look at these edges. Look at these edges. And look, they're in love. It's so cute. Oh,
we love it.
We love.
She's obsessed.
I am. The first book that I plan on finishing this month is actually the third book in the Tomes and Tea series that Danielle is just starting. To You at the Altar by Rebecca Thorne. I don't want to spoil anything in this world. I'm just a little bit into it so far. However, if history goes to show anything, I'm going to love this one the way I love the first two, and I will absolutely fly through it. So, like Danielle said, she might be done the first one by the end of March. I might be done this by the end of March, so...
we shall see.
We shall see. Also, edges.
Oh.
Edges!
Sprayed edges!
All of them have a different color, and it's so gorgeous.
It's
so gorgeous.
They all have a different picture on the inside.
It's so pretty.
We love it.
I'm in love.
We love it. My second book is The Stars Are Dying. First off, can we take this in? This gorgeous edition with the sprayed edges. It is absolutely beautiful. I am very much looking forward to this book. So this is about Astray, a girl living with fragmented memories of her past, and she meets Mysterious Knight, a wicked captor who may have pure intentions. So this book is for my magical readathon, and it's for the astronomy class. So I'm super excited to read it. It's one of those books that doesn't have a lot like on the cover of what it's about. So I'm looking forward to going into it a bit blind, not knowing what to expect.
My next read is also one that I'm currently reading. It's my current commuter book. So even though I have the physical book in front of me, I am listening to it on the audiobook. And this is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third book in the Throne of Glass series, and I'm currently rereading the entire series. If you didn't see our wrap-up, once again, this is just the UK covers because I think they're incredibly gorgeous. Both the front and the back have something super nice on them.
So pretty.
I do also have the North American covers. The original covers, not the remake covers. And out of all 3 different cover types, I believe the UK covers are the prettiest.
All right, my next book is The Undetectables by Courtney Smyth. This I picked up in chapters during our Tuesday Bestie Hangout. Check out our week of our reading to see that. And I had started it and then had decided to pick up another book instead. But I'm really excited. It is about a detective agency made up of 3 witches and a ghost in a cat costume, don't ask, trying to hunt down a magical serial killer. Ooh. So kind of a spooky-ooky book, but I'm really looking forward to it.
The next book that I want to finish reading in April is another book that I'm currently in the middle of. It is another reread, and that is Assistant to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer. It is my current palate cleanser book, so I already know that I'm going to enjoy it. I've enjoyed it every other time I've read it. But basically, I'll read a book, finish that, read a little bit of this, start from a place that like I know I'm comfortable, and then pick up a new book, just so that like I've got a little slice of a story I know I'm enjoying before I jump into something that I don't know anything about.
There you go. All right, my next book is The Benevolent Society of Ill-Mannered Ladies. I picked this up, again, I was with Tricia at a trip to Value Village, and she actually had picked it up first and then put it back, and then I was like, wait, hold up, what is this gorgeous thing? And then I ended up purchasing it, and I'm really excited. So basically, it's about Lady Augusta and her twin sister Julia, and they're going to save their friend from an abusive relationship, but end up meeting up with some lord guy along the way, and something happens where he gets injured, and then that whole thing leads them to discover that he's actually an accused murderer. So quite a lot, a lot in there, a lot of hard content, but I'm actually really looking forward to it. I had planned to read it in March, didn't end up reading it, so I'm moving it on to April. So I'm excited.
My next read for the month is Better Off Wed by Portia MacIntosh. As you can tell, this is another book that I'm in the middle of. I am notorious for that. I'll start a book, read a little bit of it, bring it back a couple months later, and then fly through it. So this is one that I started a couple months ago. I'm hoping to finish it in April. If I do or I don't, that's fine. Just I do plan on at least reading some of it this month. It's about a woman whose name is Olivia. Her boyfriend Teddy proposes to her out of the blue. There's only one place Olivia wants to get married, and it's only available one date in the near future, and that's a couple of weeks away. So I'm assuming something's gonna happen to either make it crazy or the wedding not happen. I don't actually know yet. I'm only on page 46, but that's what this one's about.
All right, my next book is the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Apparently, the month of April is me reading books of women set in the Regency era, but they are badass ladies. Women empowerment, people. We love it. So it is about Cecilia Bassingthwaite. Very hard last name to say. She teams up with an assassin, Ned, who was originally sent to kill her, but they end up trying to go against his boss, Captain Morvath, who is going after the ladies of the Wisteria Society. So there's thieves and pirates and swords and all sorts of stuff. So I'm really, really excited, and the cover is absolutely beautiful. So I'm looking forward to it.
My next book is also one that I am currently reading. This is also a reread, but it's been enough years that I don't remember much of what happened. This is Odin's Ravens by Kelley Armstrong. This is the second book in the Blackwell pages, so I'm not going to say anything about this book in particular. I will, however, tell you that the series is about the descendants of Norse gods trying to prevent Ragnarok.
That's exciting.
Kelley Armstrong is my favorite author of all time, so I know I'm going to love this. It is a reread, but knowing how much I enjoy her writing, I don't see my rating going down much, if at all, from the first time I read this.
All right, the next book is The Shadow and Bone. It's the first book in the series. I actually ended up picking this up with Tricia at Value Village. Can you tell she's a bad influence on me to buy all the books?
Excuse you. I am not. I have no books at all to my name. There's none at all.
Nothing. And if you watched our Q&A or our bloopers or in some video, we had an argument about whether or not this was annotated. And Tricia had thoughts about that.
I'm sorry.
Turns out this is not the one that is annotated. I was just trying to ask her a question. She got very defensive.
I apologize for coming off meaner than I meant to.
It's okay. We love her.
I just have a resting bee face.
It's okay. We love her. Anyway, so this is the first book in the Shadow and Bone series, and it is about a soldier, Alina. She unlocks unknown magical powers that she has, but she didn't know that she had them. Then she is thrown into the military and told to tame those powers in order to save her country. I do know this is a popular Netflix show, so I'm really excited for this one because I want to see how this compares to the show. I love doing that, and so I'm excited to read this book.
Shocking, probably no one at all. My next read is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo.
What?
As Danielle mentioned, we did have a giant discussion about this. This is my annotated copy where I've got a bunch of post-it notes and my actual thoughts in a notebook that's different from this book. But like Danielle mentioned, this has been made into a Netflix show. Mm-hmm. Since that was announced, I wanted to reread the series because I wanted to go into the series with a fresh recollection of what happens in the books. So I want to get through this, the rest of the series here. The Six of Crows duology and the King of Scars series. I do want to reread all of those before I get to the show. So this is the first book and my first step in getting ready to watch the Netflix show.
She's going to be prepared.
Hell yeah. I'll come prepared with notes.
All right, to continue the trend of Tricia and I reading the same book, but we didn't plan it that way. Some we had planned to read together, but that Shadow and Bone and this one, we had not. So I am also going to be reading Assistant to the Villain. So part of my magical readathon is we had to create our own character, and they had to have a familiar, so a magical sidekick. Tricia will superimpose some pictures of my magical character and my magical sidekick right here. And so my magical sidekick is a frog, so I had to pick a book with a frog either in the story or on the cover, and this one involves both. I don't know if you could see him right there. So,
also in the back.
Oh, there's a bigger one on the back. So I had actually started reading this book back in February, but I've decided to start at the beginning again because I don't really remember what happened, but I do know that I was quite enjoying it. So this book is about Evie. She's hired by the local villain, and she has to, it's a super funny relationship that from what I remember, and she has to help him figure out who's trying to sabotage him. Sabotage a villain? What? So I'm excited that we are reading some of the same books to see if our thoughts are similar.
My next read is Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Ash actually got this book for me for my birthday last year, and I've been excited to read it ever since. It's got super nice sprayed edges, so it has that going for it. We all know I love a sprayed edge. I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but I am looking forward to it. This book is about 17-year-old Alex. Her mom and her are on the run when her mom is killed by demons. Alex must rejoin society. She has to choose whether to try to play catch up with her training as a half-blood or to start being subservient to the Pures. They are descendants of gods, and only Pures are like the top of society. If you're half-blood, your goal is to protect the Pures, make sure that they are safe and the Pures remain. So that's my next read.
All right, my next read is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I am not going to say anything about the premise because if you have not read the first book, One Dark Window, this book is literally continues from where that book left off. So I read that book, so I'm really excited to read the sequel. And I highly recommend One Dark Window. I really enjoyed it. Really recommend this series.
My second to last read for this month is actually Heaven by Miko Kawakami. This book was recommended to me by an employee at the St. Catherine's chapters when we went during our day in Niagara. I want to go into it blind to experience it because that's the way that this employee told me I should. So I'm not going to tell you anything about the book. I have not read the synopsis. I apologize, but that is what I will be reading.
All right, so our last book for the month is Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundell. This is our buddy read for the month, and we will have a specific video dedicated to showing you clips of us reading, our thoughts, emotions along the whole way. Really exciting because we are planning to start tonight together, which that'll be super fun. So I have read the synopsis. Have you?
I have not.
Okay, so you know what? We're going to go into it blind, unknown. This is a middle grade book, fantasy genre. So a little bit younger audience than we have been reading recently. But we are super excited because look at the cover. Show them the map on the inside. Absolutely beautiful. So we had seen this when we were in Niagara, decided not to pick it up then. But then the Wheel of Fate spun and said,
we have to read
the
this
book. So we're excited for this one. We're excited to tell you our thoughts, emotions. So definitely keep an eye out for our dedicated book for Impossible Creatures.
Thank you for coming along with us. Those were the books that we plan on reading this month. We would love to hear what you plan on reading. If you've read any of the books that we plan on reading, your thoughts on them. If you have a favorite reread or a palate cleanser like I do, if you're experiencing something for the first time and think that it's something we should read for next month, everything you have read or will be reading in the month of April, we would love to hear about. As we've said in a previous video, we are book besties. If you don't have one, now you have two. So please come along with us on our journey and see what we end up reading this month.
And we'll see y'all in the next video.
Bye!
Bye!